Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Happy day after Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Happy first day of leftovers. Whatever you call it. We are hoping you're having a blessed day and that you keep it right here on New Life Live. I'm Brian Perez, joined by Sheri Denham Keffer, Doctor of Marriage and Family Therapy, and also Dr. Jim Burns, the founder of Homeward. And we've got lots to cover, so let's get right to the mind of Dr. Jim to see what he's thinking. Jim, what are you thinking?
I was thinking, I want some of the leftovers. We went to my daughter's house, and so I don't have any leftovers. And
oh, man.
It's rough.
Should make you a plate?
Well, I opened the refrigerator this morning, and there's just yogurt. And, I don't eat yogurt for Thanksgiving.
Right.
But, I think Thanksgiving, at least in our family, because it's our immediate family is great. But, I've got an extended family that's a little loony. And dysfunctional is a great word of saying, and Kathy does too. And I don't mean that in a bad sense by any means to those beautiful people. But, a lot of people express that. And I actually wanted to talk about a real sensitive subject today. It's called estrangement. And do you know that before I started doing this show, I knew about estrangement. I had read one book on it, but people call, it seems like on such a regular basis, saying I'm estranged from my daughter. My daughter isn't talking to me. My ex hasn't spoken to the kids for so long. And so estrangement has become something that I've really looked into a lot and actually done some writing on it. And just on a quick background, the most often reason people are estranged, and by the way, 27% of people in the United States have a family member that they're estranged from. 27%. You can Google me on that. Isn't that crazy?
That's like 1 out of 3.
Right. And I didn't know that until I came on the show, and then I started looking at this. But the number one is divorce, most often with dad. So dad's estranged from the rest of the family. Then we go to difficult relationships with in-laws, mental illness or addictions, sexual choices and gender identity issues. We hear that all the time here on New Life. Feeling smothered by a parent's control, disagreement over choices, values, lifestyle. And surprisingly enough, sometimes therapists today are telling people to disengage, and I'm not sure that's always the best way. But what I want to say to you today is that there is hope. People, you get estranged, but there actually is hope. And one of the things we have to learn as parents, and I'm thinking about now parents of adult children who are estranged, is we have to literally embrace the word I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that you're wrong all the time, but it means there's something you can say I'm sorry for. And when you first begin to come back into a relationship, it's not you're wrong and I'm right and try to do that. Defensiveness simply doesn't work. But I honestly think the best thing we can do is say, I'm sorry and express some kind of regret and take on any responsibility you can. And I know that goes against the grain, but I oftentimes give that advice on this show. Embrace the relationship that you're going to have differences in values. That doesn't mean you have to agree to disagree. I mean, a lot of people think, well, no, they have to come to my way of thinking to have a relationship. That's not true. I think you start by embracing that, hey, we're going to have some different values, but we love each other. And one of the things is we're family, and we're going to come back as a family, even though it's possible to live with people. We have people in the business world. We have people who are our neighbors. They live differently than we do. So I think it's important that we take the lead, we show love, and that we express our love, but do it at their pace, is what I'm saying these days.
Yeah. Sheri, what would you add?
Oh, it was so good. I was here taking notes because it was that good. You were just making me think about, I have 2 nieces who have both been estranged from my family. Yeah. And it makes me want to choke up here because you all know my brother Randy committed suicide 5 years ago. Yeah. These are his only 2 daughters. And so my goal as I'm out for Thanksgiving, or my goal as I was out for Thanksgiving was to spend time with them. Yeah. And I did.
Oh, good. Well, tell us when we come back from the break how it turned out here on New Life Live. We'll be back.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to intimacy in marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy in Marriage workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy in Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And I've got Dr. Jim Burns and Dr. Sheri Denham Keffer here in the studio with me. And Jim was just talking about estrangement, and then Sheri was going to share how Thanksgiving went yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It just moved my heart. Because you can't listen to you, Jim, share all that and then not have your own story pop up, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I just spent time with my nieces. And because of my brother's suicide, I mean, that is one way to become estranged. And we end up with something called disenfranchised grief because of that. What's different? What is disenfranchised grief? It's different than grief. Like when somebody dies or something horrible happens, people respond to grief and they bring us casseroles, or they include us at Thanksgiving dinner, or people come around us and they support us, they love us, they call. But when you have a family member commit suicide, everybody reacts differently, and disenfranchised grief is a form of grief that doesn't allow you the same levity to share what's going on and to get the social support, to get the relational support. So you end up feeling alone and disconnected and isolated. Well, that happened in my family. It also happened with my 2 nieces. Because of the reasons around my brother's suicide, there was a split. And so my nieces have been banished from my nuclear family.
Wow.
So I make it a point, as I just did, to see them. And one of my nieces is gay, and I love her dearly. And she's making some decisions in her life, and I am the one family member that she is running ideas by in her own life. Like, she's got her mom, but she doesn't have her dad, right? That's my brother, and there's no other extended family. And there's been a lot of judgment for her, which has further caused disenfranchised grief for her. She's moved deeper into sadness, depression, cut off, all of that. And I'm just not going to be that person that's going to let her go. My other niece, right, disenfranchised because of my brother's suicide, and she's heartbroken over the disconnect in our family because our family used to come around each other.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They're not spending time. They're not choosing to even look her up. So we spent time, that niece has got what she calls a farm, but she's got horses, and she rescues Mustang horses. She's got goats and raises rabbits and chickens and lots of stuff. But, we spend time together, ride the horses. I see her kids and husband. And, nobody really knows what's going on in your family until you talk about it. Like me even sharing this today, I'm like, it's vulnerable, right? But I know that I'm not alone. I know that I'm not normal. I'm normal. I know that we all have families that are estranged and disenfranchised. We're dealing with stuff that breaks our heart. So the big question is what are you going to do about that? And how are you going to move in life and allow Jesus in you to touch other people that are in your family that have been estranged? And in some ways, I've become more disenfranchised because I'm in a relationship with them.
Right.
But I don't care. I think Jesus was estranged from people, and he just kept pressing in to love the estranged.
Yeah, he wasn't welcome in his hometown, and yet this is Jesus, the Son of God.
I know.
So,
what is that? It just makes me want to
and
cry.
your illustration is perfect for so many of us because we need to stay in their story. We don't have to agree with their story.
Right.
To stay in their story. We don't have to agree with them to be safe, because what people, puts them in disequilibrium when we show love and care and kindness, when we do what Jesus did. In the midst, we're the hands and the mouthpiece of Jesus sometimes. It's not our job to convert them. It's our job to love them. It's God's job to convert them.
Yeah.
But he can't convert them sometimes if he doesn't have vessels like us going out and loving people who are a little messy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny. My niece, when she came out and told me, this was a number of years ago, but she said, Aunt Sheri, I know what you believe. And I know that you and I see things differently, but I want you to know that I'm gay, And she just began to share that, and she already knew me. Right. She already knows my belief. It's like it is. It's not my job to try to convert her or change her. But being St. Francis of Assisi, you and I were together on another show last week, and, preach the gospel at all times when necessary, ... use words. I have that poster framed. It's big because it's so important in moments like this.
Right.
When I'm with my family, my nieces, I am preaching the gospel.
Sure you are.
Because I'm loving them and listening and, continuing to pray for them and ask the Lord for openings to share.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think somebody had a tough Thanksgiving season and they needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense to them, but it's really hard to do.
It's hard.
And it takes our pride sometimes to we have to take our pride away and jump into the deal. That's what Jesus would do. He would, he says, I'm okay with your mess. I'm going to love you anyway. And watch, as we look at the Bible, some of those people that he, was most influential to were people who had messy lives. They didn't come to Jesus all cleaned up. They came to Jesus with their messes, and he helped fix that. Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to ask, how do you prepare people who are listening today for this coming Sunday at church or Monday when they go back to work? And the question, how was your Thanksgiving?
Right.
And maybe they're kind of like, I hate getting asked this question every year or every holiday because the truth is things aren't great. My family doesn't talk to each other.
Yeah.
But I always have to put on that happy face, especially if you're if you work at a Christian, environment or something at a church or whatever, and you got to put on that happy face and, oh yeah, everything was great. And, after a while you're wondering, can people see through me?
No, and I don't think we need to do that. I mean, what I love about this younger generation is I think they're more authentic than an older generation. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you have to go through every story and every dirty war story of our families or what even happened. But, Thanksgiving is always complicated for us. But I'm so thankful, and you move on. Mm-hmm. But you need someone in your life that you can say, Thanksgiving was terrible, and let me tell you why. Yeah. Aunt Mary went crazy on us, and I started to say Uncle Albert. I think that's a Beatles song. But Uncle Albert came, and he was drunk before he came, and he brought his own booze, whatever it is. You need somebody who you can share that with, who loves you and accepts you and just goes, oh, look at that. It's a little crazy out there, isn't it? And in that we find strength. But I don't think we have to share. I honestly think everybody could identify with, oh my goodness, it's not perfect at our place.
Yeah.
It's funny. I bought my mom a picture. There's no pictures. It's just the words that says, families can be sweet, but some families have a few nuts. And it's hanging on her wall. And, even planning for this Thanksgiving, we were struggling with.
You should have warned me for that, because I had just taken a drink out of my mug here. And I had to make sure I didn't spit it out. That was funny.
Well, and as I was planning, like, where am I going? We didn't know. My mom's in assisted living. I want to be with her. And so we were planning for Thanksgiving. It got messy. Mm-hmm. And my mom reminded me. She said, well, you gave me that picture that says families can be sweet like fudge, but they got a few nuts. And my mom was like, we have a few nuts. And I go, I know we do, Mom. Yeah.
I just don't want to be the nut. I worry about myself on that one sometimes.
Well, I think, this Thanksgiving was different for me because I didn't have my family, my sisters around. Yeah. So I ended up celebrating with a dear friend of mine and her mother, right? And my mom's 89, hers is 86. And we had our families together, right? Mm-hmm. But she is a sister. She is a friend that's like a sister to me.
Yeah.
Shelley. And Shelley and I cooked together. We set the table. We flexed into this family, what felt like family of choice. Mm-hmm. Instead of grieving about the fact that my siblings weren't there, right? Right. We just decided to move in a new direction, and her siblings weren't there, And instead of focusing in on the estrangement, we just focused in on how can we make a memory and love on each other, and have our moms both there, why we still have them. And it was great.
Awesome. That's well spoken. We have a friend. We talk about friends, and our friends can be closer than brothers and sisters sometimes. Yeah. Especially, I find that within the church. But it doesn't come without. There's also some friends, quote unquote, who also are part of the nut family that goes with that poster. But I think it's a perfect illustration. You said, look, we're gonna make this work, and you did. Yay.
Yeah.
We talk about this passage in Scripture often here on New Life Live, but maybe in our remaining minutes before the break, the one that talks about God sets us up in families, because so often we just want to, no, this is the family, this is my family of origin. God put me in this biological family, even if you were adopted, you're in this group, and there's nuts and everything else, and then you can't wait to move out of the house and all that other stuff that happens. But talk about how sometimes you need to find, whether in a church community or a life recovery group, whatever it is.
No, I think we need that. I have been in a small group for 23 years with some men. They are family to me. And we have fun, we fish, we pray, but we also open up the kimono sometime and talk about what we're going through, and we support each other. Mm-hmm. I can have those kinds of deeper conversations with people who are outside of my family. That's not to put my family down. I just have a closer relationship with these other guys. They're family. Yeah. And I would stop it and do anything. If I got a call today, and I would stop everything I was going to do, stop my appointments, I would go see those guys, because again, that's how we are. I think that's one of the greatest blessings. But that doesn't come by just waiting for people to show up. It comes by doing the work, rolling up the sleeves, and being authentic yourself. And so, the prayer would be for many who really had a lonely Thanksgiving is, what about by next year having one friend that you regularly get together with, and maybe then add another friend, and then you add another friend, or maybe you do jump into a life recovery group or whatever. But I find that when we're honest and open about our lives, that brings us together. And the Bible, talks about confession. If we confess our sins, He's faithful and just, God, vertical. But also, if we confess our sins to others, we will be healed. That's scriptural. That's horizontal. So I find that sometimes when we have those friends who are closer than brothers or sisters, we can just goof up and have a lot of goofy, fun times with them at times, but we also have to be honest and transparent with them too.
Yeah. And I think part of it is making sure, I think people might be afraid to find people that are not safe. So we're not saying just go out there and be friendly and I mean, yes, be friendly, but what I'm saying is, walk into a coffee shop or whatever and just start talking to random strangers about what's going on. We got to make sure that we feel safe around these people, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about that when we continue here on New Life Live, the day after Thanksgiving edition of the program. I'm Brian Perez here with Dr. Jim Burns, the founder of Homeward, and Sheri Denham Keffer, a doctor of marriage and family therapy. And yeah, we're just talking about life. It's what we do here at New Life, and especially right now during the holidays, so many hurting people, and we want to help you too here on New Life Live. We'll be back in just a moment.
Are you ready for the holidays, or are you dreading the holidays? Well, we have a new webinar, and it's called Healthy Holiday Boundaries. The holiday season often brings joy, but it also can bring pressure, guilt, and emotional overwhelm. Healthy Holiday Boundaries is a 90-minute faith-based webinar. You'll learn how to protect your peace, manage expectations, and set healthy limits without guilt. Whether you're facing family tensions, an overcommitted schedule, or emotional fatigue, this webinar will help you reclaim calm and connection. This isn't just information, it's an invitation.
The Healthy Holidays Boundaries webinar is Wednesday evening, December 10th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com. Experience the freedom Christ offers and discover how to give your best yes and your healthiest no this holiday season. 1-800-639-5433. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
I'm so thankful because why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
All right, thanks for joining us today on New Life Live. Brian Perez here with Drs. Jim Burns and Sheri Denham Keffer, and we're talking about everything from estrangement to strange family dynamics and everything else. And right before
to fruits and nuts.
We're talking about our families is what we're talking about. I think some other people can identify that.
Oh, for sure. So I mentioned right before the break that we want to go out and maybe make a new group of friends, and Jim, you mentioned, this group of guys that you've had forever, and people listening might go, you know what, I would love that. I don't feel like, whenever I find someone that might be that friend, something happens. Like maybe I say way too much and they run away, or I tell them about my life and they start giving me bad advice, or they just, so how do we find safe people to be friends? How do we, even at church, because you would think, everybody at church is safe, but that's not always the case, unfortunately. What do you guys think?
Start hanging out with people. And you're exactly right. There's people that I've hung out with. In fact, I have a friend who's kind of a well-known Christian leader who doesn't hold confidence. And so I shared some in confidence with him, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to love him like crazy, but he's not going to be the guy that I'm going to, because he's going to share in the confidentiality part was a big deal to me. So he's not in that group.
He's not in your kimono.
He's not in my
group.
He's not in my kimono group. By the way, what is? I shared that in the previous segment, and I said kimono, and I went, I don't even know what a kimono is.
No,
is
but that was good. I liked it. It's a word picture. You're letting people in. No, that's good.
Terry wears a kimono here on our team all the time.
He does, and shorts. I want to say be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think it's almost like being in groups, I think, helps people figure out who their friends are. Yeah. If you are around a group of people, then you can start listening and watching and observing some traits that you might like in another human being. And I liken it like to dating, without just like group dating or something with a friend dating. It's weird, but I think there's less pressure that way. Yeah. And so I think about environments that I've been in the past where I've wanted to make friends. I've needed to make friends. I've needed to put myself in an environment where I could make friends. And I got so disheartened right away because I just wanted it to be fast. I wanted it to work quickly. I didn't want to make a mistake. All of those things. But I learned, just like you learned, Jim, that there are some people that have a greater capacity to listen than others. I learned that there's some people that are safe, that go hold confidence, and others. I have chosen to pursue those people that have qualities that are, and it takes work. Like it is time and work. I'm going to hang out with one of my girlfriends this week, and her boys are going to be there. I'm cooking dinner for them. I'm like, hey, can I come in to cook dinner for you? And that's a part of investing in that relationship. And I didn't just say, hey, let's go out to dinner. I said, hey, are your boys going to be around? And so boys are going to be there. One of their boys has a girlfriend. I'm like, all right. I decided to cook another turkey because they have them on sale. So I bought a turkey. We're going to have turkey again. You want me to save you some leftovers?
Yes.
I know you
Brian and
didn't
I are now expecting. Do they have a kitchen here? I know that they. Yes.
So
I think she can. Next time we're on together, she's bringing
lunch. It's like a rinse and repeat because everything's on sale right now. And I was like, that'll be great. But you just have to invest the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, because we don't want yogurt for Thanksgiving leftovers again. So one thing, and Aaron, we're coming up to our break, so let's wait to talk to Aaron until we come back. I just want to say one thing really quick about finding safe people. If you notice someone who talks to you, and like to Jim's case of knowing someone who is not very good in the confidentiality area, you probably figure that out, Jim, because maybe this person came to you saying, did you hear what Brian did?
Yeah.
So if this person's like a gossiper or just somebody who can't, you can tell that they're not trustworthy, then you know what? This is probably not a safe person for you either.
Exactly. I think that's how you find the people. And again, it's when Sheri was talking about dating, there is a little bit of that. I've been in groups that I didn't, before my 23 years of this group, and it didn't happen overnight. I've been in groups that I kind of went, well, I feel kind of safe with that person, but I don't really know that I feel safe with that person. We were somehow put together in a different way. Yeah. That's okay.
Isn't it? Because you could just observe.
And it doesn't have to be a group. It can, I had lunch for 3 years with a man who I adore, and this was a number of years ago, and we chose one Wednesday, and then we said, well, what about next Wednesday? And we just kept going, and he's one of the most influential people in my life.
Yeah.
Aww,
but that's one. But you get that by testing it.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up soon. Just a few, let me do the math here, 27 days away from Christmas. And maybe you're dreading, you know what, I barely got through Thanksgiving yesterday. I don't know if I can do this again. I've got holiday parties. I've got white elephant gifts. I've got the family coming over on Christmas Eve. I just want to cancel the whole thing. I don't know what to do. You know what you need to do is sign up for our Healthy Holiday Boundaries webinar. It's coming up in less than 2 weeks. Wednesday, December 10th at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's less than $20 per person. You'll get a 90-minute session, including 30 minutes of Q&A. You can't beat that. You can find out all about it at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Aaron in Los Angeles, we're going to talk to you when we come back from the break on New Life Live.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery. And one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
In this season of generosity, friends of the ministry have pledged $475,000 to be matched. Together, we can bring hope and godly counsel to more hurting hearts. Thanks for showing a generosity that changes lives. Give online at newlife.com/match or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. You can also give with your thumbs by texting the word match to 28950. Checks or money orders, wire transfers, we can do it all. Well, I'm not sure about the wire transfers, actually. But however you give, however much you can give, know that we put it to good use right away. May God bless you doubly as you doubly bless hurting people and families all over the world. Let's talk to Aaron in Los Angeles, who is you've never heard of us before. Hello. How'd you hear about New Life Live?
I've been tuning in and kind of going through the channels, and I came across you today and was really excited to call in and ask this question. I just kind of stumbled upon it.
Nice. Well, let's hear it.
Yeah. So my question is, with the holidays coming up, I have 3 young children, and probably like a lot of questions you get, I have in-laws who are rather difficult, and I find myself, and my husband actually is on the same page of like wanting to protect our children in a way from my in-laws. And so I really myself don't have a problem with drawing that boundary. But my question is around how to communicate with our young children, maybe why they aren't seeing, aunts, uncles, grandparents over the holidays, because we've chosen to there's some things that aren't necessarily age appropriate for them to know, but they also have questions about it.
How old are your kids, if I can ask?
They are 4, 8, and almost 10.
4, 8, and almost 10. And we're not just talking about the in-laws then. We're talking about like all the other aunts, uncles, and everything else. So
And uncles,
Yeah.
they all kind of come as one big package deal. They're one of those families.
So the in-laws are more like outlaws. What do we do about that, Sheri?
Right, exactly.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let me tell you one thing I'm already appreciating, Aaron, is that you and your husband are on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a gift.
Yeah.
Honestly, what a gift.
Hasn't always been that way.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so
But we've gotten there, yes.
You've gotten there. Because I imagine for him, there's some shame that's attached to the fact that his family, kind of like I started with the, some families are sweet like fudge, others have nuts. I mean, I come from a family where there's some shame attached to it. So I understand how hard that can be and feel. When you said we've worked on it, do you mind just sharing a little bit with that when you said it hasn't always been that way?
Yeah.
Can you give me just a piece of history?
I mean, we've been together for a long time, and from the jump, I think as we tend to do, I saw things in his family maybe more clearly or just from an outsider's perspective. And so when we got married, just kind of starting to be like, did you notice that? Or like things like that. And he kind of was defensive at first. And so it's taken a lot of drama and us having our own kids and kind of, I feel like that's always a really illuminating thing when you have your own kids and you see like, oh, wait a second, I would do anything for these children. And this is the way that my parents or my family has treated. I don't know. I think having our own kids really helped. And then also therapy.
Yeah.
Lots of conversation and lots of hard conversations. And
So I'm thinking about, I don't know your story totally, Aaron. I'm not trying to put something on you that isn't on you, but I have had conversations recently with families where there's been something called mother enmeshment going on, where the husband has grown up with a mom who put a lot of weight on them as a younger boy, a little boy. Yeah. And so they've grown up feeling responsible to take care of the mom and other family members. But what happens is the wife ends up getting the short end of the stick. Now that she's married, now that there's kids, she's not the priority, right? And it can be like such a pull to have the husband start to churn around and say, listen, I need to be a priority. This is how I want to do our family because I feel so left out, or I feel judged when I'm there, or your mom hates me, or she's even told me that. And I'm not saying any of that's going on with you. I'm just bringing in a situation that is not so uncommon. When you say, I want to protect our 3 kids, do you feel comfortable enough just saying, these are the things I want to protect them from?
Yeah. I think a lot of it is the way that they talk about other people. There's just a lot of judgment, passing judgment, a lot of, for lack of better words, they're a fairly hateful kind of family, very negative. That just the way that they interact with the world is very negative. And so I've felt like when we've gone over there with the kids before, we've left and it's just been I don't know, you can tell that they've sensed it and felt it. And that's just that's part of it. Is just kind of wanting to protect them from the way that overhearing things that I would rather not hear them, or let them overhear them say, or things like that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Jim?
Aaron, I think you have a great handle on this because you're using the word protect. I have 2 words. I want to say, I think your job and your husband's job, and it's great that you're on the same page, is to honor and protect. So we honor our relatives. We honor the family system that we are in any way we can, but at the same time we need to protect, especially when we have younger kids. So you have a 10, 8, and 4. So it's possible in a relationship to show some honor but meaning we don't talk down on them in front of those kids, meaning to the kids, oh, that's crazy. That's what would you call the nut part of our family, you were saying, Sheri.
Yeah.
But I think you do want to protect them. There are ways to protect. As your 10 and 8-year-old especially, as they begin to understand things, there are times, and we've done this in our family, we had alcoholism throughout our family. So we didn't let the wonderful people, if they were ever sober, our kids didn't stay overnight at their house because we didn't want that influence. There were things that we ask other family members. We don't particularly watch that kind of television programming. We'd love to come over, but would you mind make us the bad people? So there's protection. But still honor the relationship. And I've found that some of that was really good teaching. So one family member who's a little wild on our side and a little crazy, we would say, you know what, that's what Uncle so-and-so believes, and we love him, and we're going to continue to love him. But in our family, here's how we feel. And by about age 8 and 10, they can kind of get that. So you're not throwing them totally under the bus, but you're saying, they do have a different opinion than us. It's a great way to teach. It's not this, it's this. The other thing that I always say about holidays, and I think our family does this pretty well, we do Christmas on my side of the family for 2.5 hours. Okay, so what we do is we have a party. It's never right at Christmas, and they come to our house, and we have a taco guy, and it costs us money. And the 40-some people who come, we do it for 2.5 hours. We can do it for 2.5 hours. If we did this for 2 days, it would be a disaster. But so you keep it short. And again, there are other times when you're more in the protection business than you're in the honoring business. So in the protection side, if it's something that you're afraid of anything from abuse to any of those kind of things, then you just keep it away. Like us, we didn't bring our kids ever into the situation where they would be driving with a couple of the family members because the family members were probably drunk. Maybe not always, but we didn't want to take that chance. And you take the hit for that. But we never told the family members that. We still, to this day, they probably don't have any idea. Their relational IQ of a dysfunctional family is not very good sometimes, so they didn't understand that. And I don't think they do now. But with you and your husband, if you just those two words, how are we going to honor? How are we going to protect? And especially at the age of your kids, as they get older, it gets a little more complicated because then they're going to go at 16. So what's the deal with that? With that guy, that in-law. Yeah, but that's not the age now.
And I just want to say one thing, Aaron. I think there's wisdom in what Dr. Jim was saying, because I think it's easy. And I'm not saying you're doing this, but I think it's easy for us to simply cut off when there's negative or bad things happening because it's just easier. It's less messy. Right. It's harder to enter into the family system with all the stuff that's going on. Again, it's not sexual abuse. I mean, that's why I wanted to kind of vet it. But to be able to go and then have conversations with your kids about that, how that hurts other people is learning, and it's learning in their own family.
Right. Yeah. All right, we'll be back and see if there's anything else we want to say to Erin before she leaves us. Thanks so much for calling in today on New Life Live.
My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
I went to the Restore conference, which seems to be the missing puzzle piece where I was able to find my voice.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we are not stuck because someone else made a decision. God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our life.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, March 6th to the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
I'm navigating my world now. It feels so wonderful.
I've had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Aaron, just for calling in today to New Life Live, we're going to send you a registration for our upcoming Healthy Holiday Boundaries webinar. It's happening on Wednesday night, December 10th at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you've already made plans that night, cancel them. If you absolutely cannot, register anyway, guys, because you're going to get a link to the registration that's good for like 7 days after the webinar. So if you can't be there that night, register for it anyway. And like I said a little bit ago, it's less than $20 per person. It's 90 minutes, including 30 minutes of Q&A. And we encourage you all to sign up for it before the next big holiday. So head on over to newlife.com or call 1-800-New Life. Take two. Really quick question about Aaron's situation. I just wanted to bring this up because, Jim, you and I were speaking before the program that now this time of year, there's a lot of people that get engaged, right? So a lot of people might be meeting their possibly future in-laws, future family at these gatherings that are happening.
Right.
So the thing about marrying someone, you're not just marrying them, you're marrying the family.
Sure.
So what are some, I mean, would you consider that to be a deal breaker? Like, let's say Fred and Sally are now engaged and they're going to someone's house and they meet Uncle Joe, Uncle Albert, like we said earlier, who's got a few screws loose. And is that like, no, because I love you, I love everyone else, but your uncle, he's a real problem.
Yeah, this is a real issue. And, you know, engagements happen between today, yesterday too, and February 14th. That's it's unbelievable the percentage of people who get engaged during that time.
Yeah.
So they're now meeting the family, and some of them haven't met the family. So what I always say for people who are getting ready for marriage, number one, this is a fascinating statement. 31% of people who get the chances of staying married is 31% better. And this is a study done out of the state of Oklahoma, but now other states are coming around this. So they're encouraging people by not even paying. You don't even have to pay for a wedding, what do you call it, a wedding license anymore in certain states if you'll get marriage counseling. So that's key. But I'm saying to the people who are struggling at the time, what your question asks is, I think community is an important part. So the people who just got engaged, they need to hear from their community. And a lot of times they're going, I don't want to hear from my mom is saying no, or my best friend said this is dangerous. There's a really good chance that they're doing that for your sake in a good way.
Yeah.
But for me, you've got to make sure that you are looking at the red flags. All red flags scare me. Abuse, addictions, cheating on the relationship. There's so many different red flags. Porn addiction is a huge one right now. So if we know those things, then I think it's important for us to have that conversation. I oftentimes say, don't say everything you think, but this is the time to say that to that loved one. Now you're still going to go forward while he's still working on this porn addiction. I think you have that conversation. By the way, you're not going to, they're going to, it's going to all work out. It's going to be fine. No, I think we have to be careful with that. At the same time, it goes back to protect, the same thing I was just saying to Aaron. I think it goes back to the idea of protect and honor, because we're going to have some family members who get engaged and we're not going to like that other person. Well, we might be able to say something, but we don't make it the entire focus.
Yeah.
Because eventually they're going to make that decision by themselves, if they're an adult, of course.
I'm glad you brought up the porn addiction, too, because a lot of people might think, oh, I've got this addiction.
Yeah.
Once I get married,
it's going to be all right.
It's going to be fine because
half
I
the
won't
people,
need to watch anymore.
No, half the people think that, and that's not, and that all research shows that that's not the case.
Yeah.
And they're carrying a huge, talk about a backpack that they're carrying. It's a you talked about backpack in a previous show, but backpack or the huge, what I'm now calling a red flag. It's not even a yellow flag. It's a red flag.
Yeah.
So you got to get help. I think you got to get help first. So put off the wedding if it is, but get the help that you need, and then see how that works out. That's key and critical. And you're exactly right, Brian. This is the time of the year where parents and other relatives are meeting the new kid on the block, so to speak, and a lot of them aren't very impressed.
Yeah.
I want to add just one more small thing. You made me think about it when you were talking about the backpack of porn and feeling like, 50% say, okay, well, it'll stop, and it doesn't, right? That's if you are entering into a relationship, right? You're engaged. Right. I personally feel that there's unnecessary consent to let that person know that you're going to be married to, that you have a problem with pornography, that you struggle with it, whether it's porn addiction, that you're, if you're working on it, let that other person know, because I can't tell you how many betrayed partners said, I had no idea that they were looking at pornography. And so the then spouse feels very duped and cheated because she was deceived. She did not know. And so bring it in advance. Don't hold it back, because give that person the opportunity to choose you with their eyes wide open.
No, and that's key and critical.
Yeah.
I have a book called Getting Ready for Marriage. It's a book that churches use all over the country. And what I say is, in the first session, and I've done a lot of premarital counseling, in the first session I always say, what kind of baggage are you bringing? And, I pretty much get blank stares. And then sometimes somebody will say a porn addiction.
Yeah.
Or not porn. They never say porn addiction. Well, I've dabbled with porn.
Right.
And the other one will say sexual abuse. So you have a lot of women who bring up in front of me for the very first time, I was abused at 16, 18, 15, 11, whatever it is. And then I just kind of take a breath and then say, why don't we go this way, this first session, and we won't deal with what my agenda is to go through other things. Because when you say, what kind of baggage are you carrying? Because you're carrying the baggage in. That's, you know what? Those are good conversations. They are hard conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, very good conversations indeed. Really quick, the Every Man's Battle Intensive is something that we do here at New Life Ministries. We do it several times a year. There's one more coming up before the end of this year. So if you are a man of any age and you're struggling with sexual integrity, where it's either porn addiction or maybe you're getting married soon and you haven't told your engaged, maybe you're not engaged yet, or you're dating, or whether you're just a young guy that's like, you know what, I want to get married. Maybe what you heard right now that we talked about, where you're thinking, no, once I get married, I'll be done with this. And now you heard, no, that may not be the case. You need to sign up for this Every Man's Battle Intensive. It starts next Friday, December 5th. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. You can get all the details about it at newlife.com. We've also got several resources. We've got a podcast called Every Man's Battle. You can find out about that at newlife.com. In fact, we've got 2 full seasons of the Every Man's Battle podcast now under the belt. And a third one is going to begin in January. I think January 5th is the start date of that podcast. And not only do we have that podcast, we've got a lot of other videos. We've got books on the topic available for purchase at newlife.com. Look in the store there. Dr. Jim Burns has even written a book. I have it right here. If you're a young person, it's called A Student's Guide to Sexual Integrity, God's Plan for Sex and Your Body. So maybe you can...
That's awesome.
What age group would this be for, Jim?
It's actually for younger people. It's teens and preteens.
Okay.
And I'm laughing that there are now college groups that are doing it. It's a lot of churches do it together, but I always encourage the parents. All research says that the more positive, value-centered sex education kids get from home, from their parents, the less promiscuous and less confused. Don't miss that less confused.
Right.
So it's awkward. That's what the first chapter's on, awkward.
I'm going to buy one today.
I'll give you one.
Yeah, well, thank you. Can you sign it for me?
Yeah.
This is, I talk a lot with sexually betrayed partners, and I think that's something that every family needs.
Yep.
Very good. And we talk about everything here on New Life Live, from yogurt to porn addiction. It's all here. And we'll talk to you again on Monday. God bless you guys.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.